Zhan Zhuang is the first type of Qigong. It's the Qigong where you hold a position, and there are a certain number of things we need to do. So I'm going to run this back. So where we were at the end of last session, the last 6 weeks before Easter. And we'll just take a look at the various things you're trying to achieve and how to hold a position, keep using only certain parts of your musculature. And I'll go into all this stuff eventually, but for the moment, let's look at the basics. So comfortable width apart. This is the width of your shoulders. Don't go too wide. It's too much. You can just be here. It's fine. On the other hand, you don't want to be a little bit like that. It's not enough. So first thing is you need to learn how to do a pelvic tilt. If you don't already know, then now's the moment. If you do already know, then now's the moment to improve it, because believe me, you can carry on and on and on improving this. So what a pelvic tilt is the following. So there's you side on, okay? Oh no, yes, that's right. This is the back of my skull here, okay? So here's Oscar, he's called, and Oscar's not got a very healthy spine actually, but anyway. So here's your pelvis down here, and what you're aiming to do is when you do a pelvic tilt, you can see that the spine has got this sort of bow in it. Let me just sort Oscar's bones out. He's come out of place a little bit. Let me just get him sorted. Okay, yeah. It's hanging up too long. So you've got this S-bend in your back. So here's the S-bend in your back, just here. Yep, that is the S-bend in your back. And I won't put my foot on the table. I notice it shakes the camera. So what we need to do is by tucking the pelvis under, can you see how it goes in here particularly? This is your lumbars. What we need to do is we need to do a pelvic tilt underneath. So by doing that under, this all straightens out here. It goes straight, and you can easily feel this on yourself. It's not a problem to get to see how that feels. You just stand up normally, and if you rub your hand here, you'll feel you've got a kind of a hollow, a little bit of a hollow, not much. So all you have to do is when you sit down, you lift up the front here, you pull this up, and then you let the bottom pelvis tuck under. And when you do this now, it should feel like it's a bit flatter. And the more practice you get at it, the flatter you'll be able to get it, in fact. You don't want it to stick out the other way particularly. That's not the aim. And it's slightly worrying if you are able to. So we're trying to just flatten this bit out. And it's one of those things that you naturally do when you sit down. You don't think twice about it. You will automatically do that to a greater or lesser degree. So with your hand on here, whichever one you like, it makes no difference. All you do is you just lift up the pubic bone towards your tummy button. You're lifting as though you're lifting there towards there, pull it up, and you'll feel your bottom starting to tuck underneath. And you just let your knees bend and you sit down. Now, this is crucial to any movement in Tai Chi or Qigong. Without that, you're just doing a sort of superficial movement. This, for those of you who've done Pilates, is the kind of like the core of Pilates. It's the heart of it. It's making everything rotate and work from the center. In Qigong, we do both ways. Sometimes you'll go rotate this way, but sometimes you'll actually go rotate this way, so your bum sticks out and your chest and tum stick out that way. You're trying to make the spine become far more flexible, because the more flexible your spine is, the more the messages pass up and down it, and the nervous system feeds the organs, so you're getting, the whole thing works a lot better. And the ultimate goal of what we're doing here is to get your health improved anyway. That's what it's all about. However, just to go back to my first proviso, when you do anything, do not go to 100%. Do 70 or 80% maybe. And if you've just had surgery, you've got to be super careful. So back of your hand here, pubic bone's going to lift. This bone will naturally do that, starting to rotate like this, and you just let your knees bend. Okay, so the first thing about this is when you do that pelvic tilt, It's incredibly noisy in here, by the way. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it's in a conservatory and it's a very noisy roof. I'm hoping that I'm speaking loudly, but I think I don't probably need to. So the first thing about all this is that when you start operating this area here and rotating it like this, that's what makes your knees bend. It's okay, I know and you know that we can all just go bend your knees. Yeah, bend them and that's it. Of course we can do that. But what we want to do is make the knees bend because we did something here. So you can have a hand on your back if you want or not, it doesn't matter. So what I want you to do is don't bend your knees, but do a pelvic tilt as far as you can without the knees bending. Okay? Now then, keep it there, but you're now going to do more of a pelvic tilt, but you can't because your legs are straight. So now let them unlock and bend. So we've now done a pelvic tilt and made our knees bend because we did the pelvic tilt. If you can get this, it will make a massive difference to A, your health, and B, the way that you do Tai Chi and Qigong. So this is the first thing about the exercise. So I'm just today going to take us into Zhan Zhuang. Now, leave the legs out of the game for a second. Bring your hands like this in front of you, palms kind of, well, you can see how they are. Yeah. Space between the fingers there. Yeah, not too much. Don't do this. It's too much. 45 degrees, maybe a little less down here. And now then you're going to lift the arms up. So they're now here. Yeah. Yeah, good. Okay. We do that at the same time as all this other stuff going on. Right? So start here. Pelvic tilt and start to lift the arms just a little bit. No knee bending yet. Pelvic tilt more and just keep the arms lifting until they're level with the shoulders, your heart, anywhere there. And that is your basic Zhan Zhuang position. Zhan Zhuang, Z-H-A-N, Z-H-U-A-N-G, meaning standing like a pole, standing tree, any of those things. So we would hold that position. So lower hands, yeah, and stand up. We would hold that for any time, maybe a minute, maybe an hour. Yeah, so it's up to you. It's the hardest sort of Qigong there is. It's very demanding, but oddly enough, it's not demanding after a while when you start to get the hang of it. So you're here, yeah, 45 degrees, yeah, you got it. Pelvic tilt, start to lift the arms, no knee bending yet. When you can't pelvic tilt anymore, keep going now, but let the knees bend as well and sit down and keep lifting the hands. Stay there if you would. What have you done with the back of your neck? Have you tensed it? Relax it. Are the buttocks tense? Have you gripped them up? Relax them. Are you pulled up here? This should be slightly tensed. You need that to be pulling up at the front. Okay, and come out of it. So we need to do this a few times, quite a lot of times really. So we're going to do it, you know, another 5 times or something. Okay, start here. Pelvic tilt. More pelvic tilt, and the hands are still continuing to lift. Check your neck, check your bum. Okay, come out of it. If you find that you've lost this bit, the pulling up bit, that needs to be put back again. Okay, so you're here, 45, yeah. Pelvic tilt without the knees bending. And now let the knees bend, relax your neck, relax your bum. Good, come out of it. Yeah, hold on a second. Okay. Ready? Pelvic tilt. More pelvic tilt and let the knees bend. Neck, bum. and again out of it. So obviously your aim is to not get this tense and this tense all the time. Relax as you start. Okay, ready? Pelvic tilt, relax your bum, relax your neck. Keep on relaxing your bum and your neck, pelvic tilt. And we'll do it once more. Bum relax, neck relax. Start. Pelvic tilt, no knee bending. Now you can let your knees bend, but really carry on the pelvic tilt. Neck, bum, stay there. Check where your weight is, not on your toes. The weight in the middle of your feet. Are you tensing up the bum? Can you soften your neck more? Okay, lower. Now, this exercise tends to affect people in two different ways, particularly. If you've got a back problems, you may feel it in the back. Yeah. If you haven't, you probably won't feel it in the back so much. But generally speaking, where you feel discomfort in this is where you have a problem. So the game here, if you like, if it is a sort of game in a way, is to find out where the problem is and then work on relaxing that bit. Generally speaking, it falls into two categories, apart from the back being tight. Arms get really tired or legs get tired. Now, it's unlikely that your legs have got particularly tired because we've kept on coming in and out of it, but possibly the arms, you could feel, oh, I couldn't hold this for very long. So when you lift your arm up, what you have to do, put a hand on your shoulder, left or right, doesn't matter which, and you can just lift the arm up ahead of you here, palm facing the floor, it's fine. And what should feel is as though this drops when this lifts, almost like a seesaw. The shoulder goes down and the arm goes up. What people tend to do is this, watch my shoulder. They lift from here. Now that means I've engaged all these muscles. If I stay like this, I can feel this has gone tight right up to the mastoid process here at the back. This has all got locked up because I'm using the wrong muscles to do the job. What should happen, and again, so put your hand on the shoulder, do the other one if you like, and this is going to go down as the hand goes up. So this feels like it's actually sinking, and this goes up. So this has gone down rather than, that's now up. That happens. Now, when you do this arm exercise, we'll leave the legs out for a minute. So just as you lift, start here, 45 degrees, lifting up, drop your shoulders. Relax your neck, because you don't need the trapezius muscle to help you do this. But if you involve it, your neck will start to feel tense. And that's the hand position. Okay, it's fine. You could spend hours practicing this. I can spend hours practicing this, even though I've done it for how many years since, oh, I don't know. I've done it for 42 years, practicing this exercise. I can still carry on for ages doing it because I never, ever can completely get it 100% right. I can get it 90%, 95%, but there's always something, you know, you've hurt yourself the other day doing something in the garden or whatever. And so something's a bit tensed up and bones aren't quite aligned correctly. The structure's not quite right. So therefore, this position may well hurt you a bit. And so you can work your way through it.